I want to let you know something right here, right now. Joel Embiid and those tears you saw him streaming down his face and that pain you saw sifting through his body like that, it may end up being the best thing that ever happened to you. You see, to me, Joel Embiid, and it's not to disrespect him in any way, but to me, Joel Embiid became a man last night. Because let me tell you something right now. Ain't no more airplane flyings, joking around, chirping. When you lose a game 7 and you lose it in that magnitude with Kawhi Leonard drilling a jumper over you that bounced in and out of the rim and then into the rim, about 3 or 4 bounces. Let's count them right here. He goes up, clocks 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 bounces. And then goes into the rim to win the series. To win the series. Let me tell y'all something right now. That's some pain that is not going to leave Joel Embiid for a very, 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 very long time. And when he comes back on the court next year and he's playing, he's going to remember every aching moment. And when that happens, ladies and gentlemen, could you imagine a monster, a beast like Joel Embiid? And I say that obviously complimentary. Could you imagine him even more focused? How he'll be if he's healthy? If I'm the 76ers, I leave this man alone. I make sure, work on his knees, work on his back, get him as close to 100% as you can possibly get him in the best condition of his life, and then unleash him. Because nobody can stop Joel Embiid. Nobody can stop him. And what you're going to see with Joel Embiid is a man on a mission coming back. I think it's going to be to the benefit of the Philadelphia 76ers. Make no mistake about it. And I think it is something that would bode very, very well for them moving forward.
The Stephen A. Smith Show on ESPN Radio is presented by Progressive
Appreciation Month, brought to you by Navy Federal Credit Union. Proudly serving the armed forces, the DOD, veterans, and their families for over 80 years. Federally insured by NCUA. 888-SAY-ESPN. It's 888-729-3776. Reminding you again right here on the Stephen A. Smith Show, ESPN Radio, ESPN News. Starting off hour number 2, my buddy, my former colleague here at ESPN, now NBA writer extraordinaire for the New York Times, the one and only Mark Stein will be on the show with us. Looking forward to talking to him about some things. So let's get right to it. Until then, going to get to the phone calls. We've got a lot of people wanting to talk. You know my position. I want Zion in New York first, and if not New York, L.A. I'm not interested in him in a damn place else. And no athletic phenom needs to go to Chicago because everything's going to be compared to Michael Jordan. Everything. And that ain't going to work. It'll work for a hometown boy like Derrick Rose, but that's about it. Chicago fan base is phenomenal, by the way. They sell out every year, every game, even when their team stinks. I have mad love and respect for the fans in Chicago. They're really, really great, but I don't want Zion there. Let's go to the phones. Let's go to Michael. You're live with Stephen A. Talk to me, Michael. What's up?
Hi, Stephen A. It's Mike.
I just said, Michael. How you doing?
I just had a quick question. Say Zion were to go number 1 to the Knicks, what would his role be essentially when KD and Kyrie comes along?
If Zion was to go to the Knicks?
Yes, what would his role be?
He'd be your post player. He'd be your interior offensive weapon. Because with KD and Kyrie on outside, whether it's driving to the basket or making noise from the perimeter, you would need a low post presence on the offensive end of the floor. And that would definitely be Zion Williamson's 280 plus pounds. Simple question, simple answer. Have a nice day. Andrew, you're live with Stephen A. What's up?
Hey, Steve, like you, I'm on my hands and knees praying that Zion gets to New York number 1. Having said that, what role would he play in getting any marquee free agent to the Garden?
What role would what? I'm sorry, repeat that question?
What role would he play in getting any marquee free agent to the Garden?
Believe it or not, it can't hurt, but I would tell you from what I'm hearing, it doesn't matter. I've been told that Kyrie and Kevin Durant are coming. I was asked to use the words 95% because it ain't done with these guys until they're done. Kyrie is temperamental. In the case of Kevin Durant, he's sensitive. I'm not saying that in a negative way, but he's sensitive from the standpoint that the nostalgia being in Golden State, winning championships, et cetera, with Golden State clearly in position to give him more money. They've got a state-of-the-art arena that's going to open next season that is off the charts. Nothing like it has ever been seen from what I'm being told. They're winning championships. They're printing money. It's Silicon Valley. Even though he knows a Steph team and he wants to leave, chances are he's coming to New York, but I've been told to use 95% because, quote, you never, ever, ever in life can say anything is 100% with Kevin Durant until it's actually done. That's what I've been told.
All right, well, hopefully we get Zion too.
Yes, that's what we're hoping for. Thanks a lot, man. Rick, you're live with Stephen A. Talk to me, my brother. How are you?
Stephen A., listen, man, I'm praying also, brother. Listen, I got a question, though.
Yeah.
What do you think with the cap money that we have? What do you think? Do you think there's a good scenario to try to get Jimmy Butler with Kyrie and
No. The Knicks do not want Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler is considered a tier 2 star. The New York Knicks are either looking for marquee headline superstars or they want to build through the draft. They don't want, they want to build through the draft and free agency where you bring quality talent, but not the kind of talent that you got to dole out max dollars to. New York Knicks are not interested in that. When it comes to Jimmy Butler, you know who everybody's competition for Jimmy Butler may be?
Who's that?
Portland. Damian Lillard's trying to convince him to come to Portland.
That's a good look for Portland if that was to happen.
That is a good look. That is a good look. But Philadelphia obviously wants to keep him, and they've got to prioritize keeping Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler, I'm going to go as far as to say this. Are you ready for this, Rick?
I'm listening.
Jimmy Butler would be a fool to leave Philadelphia. Everything about Jimmy Butler's life personifies what Philadelphia is all about. Hard-nosed, blue-collar, grab your lunch pail and go to work kind of town. When you know Jimmy Butler's story and what he's endured and what he's overcome in order to get to where he is today, nothing personifies that more than Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. And now that he's been there and he's established himself, Joel Embiid may be your best player. But when you talk about the pulse of Philadelphia, who's emblematic of the heart and soul that personifies Philadelphia, what name do you come up with?
I come up with Charles Barkley.
No, I'm saying present day player, bro.
Oh, present day player.
Yes. I'm saying it's Jimmy Butler. See, Joel Embiid is a superstar talent. Ben Simmons is a jump shot away from being that. But in terms of the mentality and the approach, the hard-nosed approach, the candor, the willingness to call it like you see it, ruffle feathers, all these different things while grabbing your lunch pail and waking up 5:30 every morning and going to work and making sure you're in peak condition and all of those different things. Who personifies that better than Jimmy Butler for the Philadelphia 76ers? Who's that guy?
Nobody.
And that's why you have to keep him. He's a priority over Tobias Harris. Tobias Harris is a really good player. I hope he gets paid. He didn't have the greatest postseason, certainly not the greatest series against Toronto. I want him to get paid. I got a lot of love for the brother, but I'm going to put prioritizing Jimmy Butler ahead of him in Philadelphia. If you can keep them both, keep them both. But if you have to choose between one or the other, you choose Jimmy Butler. It's that simple.
That's cool.
All right.
Tobias would be good in Brooklyn, though. That's a good look for him,
That's
too.
a good look, and they need somebody that can shoot. So you're right about that. Appreciate the call, man. Thank you. Let's go to Joe. You're live with Stephen A. Tell me something, Joe.
Hey, I hear that all the time.
Yeah, because of Bad Boys. Because of Bad Boys with Martin Lawrence. Yep.
I agree with that. I agree with the Zion. I feel like New York Knicks is destined to really finally do something because they've been down so long and they're a basketball team. And another thing, yesterday I was watching your show and you had said you really just automatically made Milwaukee go to the finals. And I'm like, I don't really see. I feel like the Raptors is really can't compete with Milwaukee.
You know what my problem with the Raptors is? I think to beat Milwaukee, you got to do it in 6. The Raptors are not going to Milwaukee and beating the Bucks in a Game 7 in Milwaukee. I don't believe it. You got to take them out in 6. And I don't think you're going to take the Greek Freak out in 6 when the first 2 games of the series are in Milwaukee. I don't believe it.
Yeah, they play as a complete team. They kind of like the same team, but 34 is way different on Milwaukee. But I feel like the Raptors can get them, though.
Like I said, if they had home court advantage and the first 2 games of the series were in Toronto, I think you would have a better, stronger argument. But the fact that they got to go against Milwaukee and Milwaukee lost Game 1 against Boston, I don't see that happening 2 series in a row. I don't see it. I think they'll be ready for Toronto tomorrow night.
Kawhi something different. Kawhi got a little bit of Jordan in him, Kobe in him. Kawhi.
Yeah. But where's his help? Jordan had Pippen. Jordan had a 3-headed monster at center with the Winningtons and Cartwrights of the world, Stacey Kings, others. Jordan had Pippen. Jordan had B.J. Armstrong. Jordan had Paxson and Steve Kerr after that and stuff like that. Where is Kawhi Leonard's help?
Just remember Joe when the Raptors win the series.
Okay, so you're just being emotional. You're not talking. Goodbye. Have a nice day. Let's go to Ronnie. You're live with Stephen A. What's up, Ronnie?
Hey, Stephen, man. I feel like putting some palm trees in front of Madison Square Garden. But being hopeful, right? Can we get Zion? But to have the backup plan, if we do fall between 2 and 3, right? What would be your pick and why?
Easily John Morant.
John Morant.
John Morant is special. He's special in the open court. He'll be a highlight reel to a lesser degree than Zion in and of himself. He's got game. He's got heart. He's coming out of Murray State. I think that when you look at what he brings to the table, I believe in John Morant.
Yes, I agree. Over Barrett. Yes, I do.
Yes, I do. I'm not. Listen, and Cam Reddish even more so when Zion went down. I watched RJ. He doesn't go to his right enough. He doesn't use his right hand enough. I got concerns about him. He belongs in the NBA. He's a special talent. But he's a lefty. He reminds me a lot of Jalen Rose. He belongs in the league. He can ball, but is he going to be that superstar? I think he'll be a solid player for a long time. I'm not convinced that I see anything other than that. In the case of Cam Reddish, his build, his athleticism, it looks special. Do you remember how inconsistent he was? And they question his motor. If they question your motor when you play 35 to 40 games in college basketball, what the hell are you going to do when they got to play 82 games? Now, mind you, you are in pursuit of millions, and they're questioning your motive on college campus, okay? This is a college campus. You know how the college life is, right, bro?
So you think
Stop. Did you hear my question?
Yes.
I said you know how the college life is, right? Yes. You know the kind of things that motivate you when you a college athlete and you on campus and people are going gaga over you in the stands and stuff like that, right? Plus you in pursuit of millions. If you can't come ready to play for 35 games, how can I trust you for 82?
Okay. I see your point.
He can play. He's got upside. I like Cam Reddish, but he's an inconsistent shot and he was not trustworthy. I mean, this is a guy that was going to score 6 and 8 points and 2 points sometimes. Where the hell were you?
And you think he should stay in college another year?
Yes, I said that. I thought he should have stayed in college another year. Be the man. Reddish is leaving. I'm sorry. R.J. Barrett is leaving. Zion Williamson is leaving. Be the man.
Yes.
But I can't knock him. I can't knock him for trying to feed his family, bro. Can't knock that. Okay? Appreciate the call, man. Thank you so much. 888-SAY-ESPN. It's 888-729-3776. Back with your calls to close out the hour before Mark Stein comes on in a minute. You're listening live to Stephen A. ESPN Radio, ESPN News. By the way, if you missed my opening segment, go check it out on demand in the Stephen A. Smith podcast, brought to you by Capital One. Capital One is reimagining banking, offering accounts with no fees or minimums that can be opened in 5 minutes. Capital One, hey, what's in your wallet? Capital One, N.A., member FDIC.